So Alex is a former student. You're freeing up some more this summer, and
I
you might
just
want
yeah, I just
to.
have more free time this summer, so I just figured
Awesome.
go ahead, take more
Nice.
classes, take more
Start
lessons.
picking it up. Awesome. Well, take it away.
All right,
My
Alex, what are you
thought.
going to play today?
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know any pieces, so
That's okay.
I specifically stopped practicing the pieces that I used to know
Mm-hmm.
because I had like bad, I guess, technique.
Okay.
So my idea was to like just start over with John and learn like new pieces, like with
Okay.
the correct technique or with John's help. But the last piece that I remember a little bit of is Opus 60, number one from Fernando Sor.
Okay.
I only remember the first half that goes like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna play that last part one more time.
Sure. Not bad, man. Hey, John, can you do me a favor? Can you unpin me for a second? Because I want to be able to watch Alex's hands. So go ahead and do that again. That sounded pretty good.
Okay.
Good. I mean, the rhythm's pretty solid. It's note accurate. I know there are some things that I can talk to you about. They're going to be somewhat fundamental things, but I don't use words like basic. Even the highest tier player is constantly coming back to our fundamentals. What I think first off is most critical for me, and you'll have to forgive me because I'm seeing you in a portrait rather than kind of a landscape.
Hmm.
And I just want to make sure what I'm seeing is right. So don't take my questions as criticism, okay?
Hmm.
When you're using, is the guitar like really high, like at a 70-degree angle?
Mm.
Or is that just the phone playing with my eyes? Because my eyes are not great.
So
Okay,
if I remember correctly, John said
that's
to
pretty
have
good.
headstock eye level.
Yeah, the neck is a little high. This is going to be really weird, my man. Could you do me a favor and stand up? Because you got a strap. I just want to see where the guitar rests on you.
Just stand up. Okay.
Yep, you could just stand up. I don't even need to see your head. Okay, so right there, do you see how the guitar sank a bit?
Yeah.
So what that means is the strap, which I think is, dude, if I could use a strap, I would. But if I asked Aaron Green to put a strap pin in the guitar, I think he'd smack me in the head. But when I set up an electric guitar with a strap, funny enough, I hold the electric guitar like classical style, and then I
Yeah.
adjust the strap so that when I stand up, the guitar doesn't move.
Okay.
So what we're seeing is that the strap, when you're sitting, is adjusting the neck angle
Hmm.
to be a much higher degree angle rather than around that 45. Now, the information that John gave you about that, the tuning machine being at or around the eye level is good. But which tuning machine are we talking about? That's kind of always the question. Is it 6, 5, 4? Which one is it?
Hmm.
And do you need to adjust that? So, what I'd recommend if you're going to use the strap, we want to see less of this particular angle and you want to be aiming a little closer for a 45. It doesn't have to be truth. We don't need to get like, the level out and start checking to see if it's really 45. What I like about the way you're holding the guitar is there's a nice tilt to the top. It's tilting back, right? It's not like flush against the body like this.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's some good stuff. That is going to allow you to stop doing this with your arm,
Hmm.
and it's going to allow you to relax, especially that posterior delt, just like doing this. I haven't moved that muscle today. Right? So we want the arm to be able to hang rather than up completely, like, so the tricep shouldn't be parallel to the ground, right? We want to have that elbow allow to sink because a lot of what you're going to do with your fingers on your left hand is going to be supported by the weight of your arm. And if the arm is too high, one, we're using a lot of effort to keep it up there, and two, we don't have enough weight in that arm to help the finger, right? So it ends up kind of being all hand and finger. So if
Okay.
you have to start doing bar chords, you get the death grip rather than letting the whole weight of that arm kind of pull the finger down. Okay. So this already is starting to look better. All right.
Okay.
But this is something I would start to experiment with.
I can keep the headstock lower like this. It
Dude,
looks like
that looks great right there. That's a big improvement. I mean, right there, that's going to allow for a little bit more. And the reason is too, is not just what happens here, but if the right upper bout is too far forward, meaning like this, and I'm exaggerating, dude, you don't look like this. But the further this comes out, the more our right arm has to start to torque and move forward. So if I show you from this angle, with that nice tilt you got going on the top, if this bout is kind of cradled, then my whole right side is just chill. But watch what happens as this moves forward, okay? So I want you to watch this area. Do you see how that starts to move out?
okay, yeah,
So that means that it's like we're doing like we're in a gym doing shoulder flies or something, right? And so that's something we want those shoulders to be as level as possible and relaxed without having to, like, I don't want to just sit stiff to get it. I just want to let my arms hang at my sides. And so when I go to hold the guitar, I can just bring my arm around rather than having to raise it or roll it forward or reach, right? And so that's one of the things in terms of achieving a balance on this instrument. That's a little hard. You know, it's a little hard to do. A lot of it has to do with our anatomy, meaning where is most of your height in your legs, like from the waist down or from the waist up, right? Because I've seen people who have really, really tall, but they're like all torso. And so the guitar has to be like this high. Whereas I've seen people who have really, really long legs and they can sit on like the tallest chair in the world and the guitar, it still doesn't come up, right? Everybody's different and we have to kind of find that. And that's hard to do, right, on our own. So it's going to take a little experiment. So I'm going to give you just a few kind of parameters. So if you follow the process, you should be able to get there, okay? When you're holding the guitar, and whether you're using the strap or not, you want to make sure the neck is at or around a 45-degree angle. And that tuning machine, for me, it's the 6th string. We're using the tuning machine simply as a guide. It's like a GPS pin. That's it, right? So if it's like, if I shot it up real high, I have really no point of reference to be able to see if the guitar is at the right height. So we generally use a tuning machine. For you, it looks like the 6th string is just about at your eye level, a little higher than that. And that's fine. We use these things so that we can recreate them. So if I look over here, it's like, oh, bang, there it is. Cool. Right?
Okay, I see.
So the neck we want at or around a 45-degree angle. The top, meaning the soundboard, we don't want it flat against our body like this for two distinct reasons. One, we start dampening the back a little bit, and this is a vibrating surface, so we don't want to stop that. We want some air between us and the top back. But the other part, well, there's three, is it's going to allow your sound to bloom upward rather than if I have it, I'm aiming the cone of my speaker kind of straight forward rather than up. So the sound radiates better as it's going up, right? So we think about there's a straight line coming out of that sound hole if I tilt it, and it's like, oh, it's going that way, right? So it can use more of the room itself. To me, the most important thing next to the sound is what it does to the sound because of what it's doing to the right arm. So if I bring this part back, and this might be tough with the strap, we want this part to just kind of tuck it back. Yeah, it looks, can you turn to the left one more time? See, it already looks like the strap is kind of doing that for, yeah, it looks like it's already got that tilt in there. So that's really good. So those are kind of the three things that we want to keep in mind. And this to me is the most important because number 2 and number 3 kind of come together in terms of the ability for the hand to not have excessive arch, and I don't have that shoulder forward rotation. Okay? So, that being said, the snippet of the sword that you played for me, I thought sounded pretty good. I'm going to talk about your fingers for a little bit, so could you do me a favor and just play it one more time? I'm going to ask you to play it a couple of times throughout the next little bit. Nice. There's a lot of, I'm going to talk about your right hand for a little bit, then your left hand for a little bit, and then we'll talk about music for a little bit. Okay? Because what's the point in doing that? If it's just technique, what's the point? What's the point of having good technique? So we can play good music. So I'll never understand the idea of just technique. right? There always has to be a musical component to it. Are there times in our practice where sometimes, yeah, man, we're just grinding scales and grinding arpeggios? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean we can't do it musically. So I like you have a natural facility in your right hand. You move very effortlessly, which is great. There are two things that we're going to work on for maybe the next 10 minutes. The first is the direction of the finger, or the trajectory of the stroke, if you want to use that terminology. It's the same thing. And for this, we're all going to have to go on a ride. So I apologize, but we're going to have to come down here so you can see it really close up. So what I'm seeing when you're plucking is that you're touching the string and then moving back toward the hand, which is great. But there's one little thing I want you to try to do before you do that. So when your index finger's on that string, yeah, I'm just using the third string for fun. I want you to feel the string push downward. It's not going to go straight down like this because we can't do anything, but it's like you're scooping a little bit. And as you go back into the finger's going to move the same direction after you do it, but you're just going to get a little bit of press on that string and then pluck it. Can you do that for me? Nice. Do you hear a difference in your sound when you do that?
Yeah, there's just a little bit. I don't know what words to use, but
Any words you want, my man, because they have to make sense to you, not me.
it's like a richer sound, I guess.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of warmth. What we're doing is we are rotating, we're vibrating that string in a slightly different fashion. So when I go just back, first off, I have really bad tone when I do that. I get this kind of plucky sound,
Okay.
right? But when I place and push down,
Okay, I see.
I think about it like if I'm riding a bike and the tip joint is my ankle, as I come down on the pedal, my ankle kind of flexes a little bit. So I want that tip joint to just flex so that you can see how they're kind of moving like this.
Oh, okay.
They're springy, right? So if I'm going to move like this, I can feel that they're spring loaded. That's going to be step number one because, like you said, all right, we're coming back here. Sorry, y'all had to stare at my ugly hand. That's going to be every stroke that you do, free or rest. The only difference between the free stroke and the rest stroke now is that we're not aiming away from the string, we're aiming down into it, but you don't do any rest strokes in this tune, so we won't talk about that at the moment. What that does, you could use you could call it rich, warmer. To me, what it does is it gives every note you play a core, like an avocado. There's your avocado pit, like the big nut right in the center, that core. And then that meaty flesh around it. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm thinking about avocado. Right? But that's essentially how we're kind of thinking a sound is it's got a core to it. What color you get, that's entirely up to you, man. If you wanted a brighter tone, or a warmer tone, or neutral tone. But every note that I play has that core to it, right? It could be a soft note. It could be a loud note. But that becomes the foundation of our sound and the mechanic or technique in how we pluck. So the exercise that I'm going to show you that you...
Hey, do you want to become a performing classical guitarist? At Concert Guitar Academy, we offer regular performance opportunities, including open mics, student recitals, and regular masterclasses with my teacher and co-founder, Christopher Ladd. We both believe that performance is a skill in itself, and anyone can begin developing it even from day one. If you'd like to hear more, book a free call at concertguitaracademy.com. All right, hope to hear you soon.